Ascended. We're live with another episode of the Ascendant Art podcast. How we doing, Joe?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you today?
I'm doing good. We're gonna have some fun because we're gonna do some video game chat. We haven't done that in a while. That'll be good. Konami dropped a lot of how many was it? 3 games?
They did 3 games plus a remake plus I think a movie announcement.
3 games and a movie announcement. And yeah, so
And a remake. So almost 4 games really, because like they're doing like a remake of Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2.
so yeah, because I guess we're upscaling it to 4K for new generations, all that good stuff. Now I'm not as much of a connoisseur of the Silent Hill franchise. Is Silent Hill 2 considered the peak of those early games?
Um Not by me. I mean, I really liked the first Silent Hill. The second was still pretty good, and after that, it kind of started the decline, I think. Silent Hill 2 is the really famous one because it has Pyramid Head, and I mean, you don't even have to have played the games to kind of probably know who that is.
Yeah, I feel like that got they put that into the movie, right? That was definitely part of the movie.
I believe so.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think let's check it out. Which one do you think would be better to start with?
Um, I'd say we should start with maybe the Silent Hill 2 remake,
Sure.
and then we can get into some of the new ones, and then maybe after that we can see if we can find this movie trailer, because I know the movie has a trailer too.
Okay. Share away. You pick. Dealer's choice. Like I said, I'm not the Silent Hill connoisseur, so let's start with whichever one you think is the best one to start with.
Oh, I'm driving.
You're driving on this one. I'll share the content you pick. We'll get to all of it.
All right, let me set up to drive. All right, I've got most of them already pulled up, so we'll go share the screen. Share the screen. I want to share that screen. And yeah, Silent Hill 2 teaser trailer. And this is a PS5 exclusive, which, I mean, that's a weird way to start because nobody's going to fucking play it, right? Like, I don't know anyone who even owns a PS5,
I
let
can't
alone
even.
get
I
one.
have not. I have not once since they've come out seen a PS5 in the store. Not once. I've seen people talk about getting PS5s, but I've never actually seen one in the wild. So pause it real quick. So here's something I'm going to say, and I don't know if this is going to be a popular opinion or not, but I give my opinions because I don't care. I feel like if at this point graphics have gotten to the point where if it's not going to be photorealistic, they shouldn't like that cockroach is in the uncanny valley for me because it's trying to be super close to real world, but it's not there. It's clearly CG, and that's where I kind of think we've gone too far. Like we haven't gone far enough, so they need to scale it back just a little more. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm on the fence. I don't like when they put live action stuff in. I think the first Resident Evil they they dicked around with that a little and had these live action cutscenes with the worst voice acting in the history of voice acting, like worse than old dubbed animes. But I don't like that. This doesn't bother me too much. It is pretty hyper realistic. It looks really good, but it's not so close that we're into the uncanny valley. We're still on the I know this isn't real side.
Okay, yeah. So let's keep going with the trailer then. That was just the cockroach just stood out
The
because it was
cockroach looks a little weird. I don't think
yeah.
it's
It looks
uncanny valley weird.
plastic.
I think it's poorly rendered.
Yeah, like go back to the cockroach. Just go back because it looks to me it looks like a plastic fake cockroach moving across. Like it's not.
It looks too clean.
Yeah, that's what it's like shiny. It's got like a
Yeah,
shiny plastic look.
yeah, and that may just be the lighting that they used.
Yeah, I know that the lighting effects usually get tweaked all the way till the end of the game release, and sometimes after when they do their day one updates.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, we can keep going. Plastic cockroach runs away. See, like even there, the skin has like a plastic sheen to it. Like I know it's supposed to be washed his hands and they're wet, but it looks like
It doesn't look like skin. It looks
yeah.
like latex or something.
So I'd actually prefer that they actually maybe step back and downgrade the graphics just a little bit so that you can see the suit and the jacket. It makes it easier for me to be into the game when I'm not now questioning like I'm noticing how wrong that looks for natural skin.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I do think some of the scariest games, it wasn't the graphics that made them scary, and I mean the realism. This looks pretty good. I mean, it's definitely 4K, and but like then like there's a lot of work got put into making that hand look good. But then like look at the cuff on the sleeve under the jacket, and I'm like, nah, I don't look very good. So yeah, I'm noticing some disparities in the graphics, but nothing major yet.
Could she really be here, waiting for me? Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago.
Now we've got like yeah the small town with the fog. With the Silent Hill like with the ash like in the floating through the sky.
Yeah, yeah, pretty good wind effects in that last part though, with the papers on the telephone pole. That was
Well,
pretty
you got to
impressive.
figure one of the big selling points on a PS5, if you can actually get one, is its ability to do ray tracing, and those elements should be exceptional on that console versus the other ones.
Definitely.
I don't know, but is it worth paying to be an exclusive? Like, I wonder how much PlayStation paid to be exclusive for Konami for the Silent Hill remake, and how long the exclusivity lasts. If it's an forever exclusive on the console, or if they still get to release it onto the mother of all game systems, the PC.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I said, they made a lot of announcements, and we're gonna look at some other trailers after this. But I think this is the only one that's the PS5 exclusive. And it's like, I mean, the game was good, but I don't know that it's buy a PS5 good.
I mean, I think first before you can buy a PS5, they have to have it in stores.
Yeah, no shit. Like, if you really want me to buy one, make it available.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
Now, horror movie 101, when you're like, you don't ever go into the isolated small town when you're a grieving husband or a grieving whatever. I mean, but would they? I didn't play the game. Is there some sort of emotional connection why he would go to that town? Is there a reason he's going there?
See, and I didn't play the second one all that much, so I don't remember. Usually there is a reason. Usually they end up there by chance.
Let's see. Having received, I'm looking at the description of the trailer.
Oh, is this the
Have,
one where he got a letter from his dead
yeah,
wife?
having received a letter from his deceased wife, James heads to where they shared so many memories in the hope of seeing her one more time. Silent Hill. There by the lake, he finds a woman eerily similar to her. Okay, at least they've given a reason. Like, this isn't his first time to this small town. This is where he went when she was alive. So, okay, I can live with it now.
Okay.
I know what you are.
Oh, I recognize that thing. That was the big thing with the thing on its head. That's a pretty well known like video game villain.
Say again.
That was the in that he just saw like rounding the corner was the thing, the big triangle head thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's iconic.
I'm just trying to figure out if there was a reason, like what was the design reason, like why you would
Why did
have that.
Pyramid Head look like he did?
Why would you put a pyramid on its head?
Um, Make it scarier.
It's
I know that there's a lot of interplay with the psychological horror aspects. Like these are like demons that are of his own mind and such. Um, but and this is a thing, like another one of these apparently was like heavily influenced by Bad Robot and J.J. Abrams and whatnot. I don't know if he was on the project directly or anything, but I'm like, ooh, mystery boxes? No, there's no place for mystery boxes in this. Because the way Silent Hill always works is like the shit kicks off, usually pretty early on in the game. You don't get a whole lot of answers. A lot of shit happens, and you're kind of left to draw your own conclusions on what it all meant. Like you'll get pieces of the puzzle, and then depending upon how you arrange those pieces in your own mind, you may come to a different conclusion as to what exactly went down. You know?
No, I gotcha.
So
But it's
yeah,
all over now.
that's a little uncanny.
Looking like we got a noose there. Oh, oh no. Yeah, that like the clothing and a lot of the stuff looks fine. It's just when you mix that with like, yeah, there you go, the rendering. Of course, this is like the remake of the original one, so they probably took that stuff and were upscaling where they could. Unreal Engine, that makes sense. That definitely looked like the Unreal Engine.
Yep. And that one didn't look too bad. Um, I just don't know if it warrants a remake. And I mean, like I said, the fact that it's a PS5 exclusive pretty much rules me out because for the time being, there's nothing on the PS5 that I need. And this, like so many other things, I don't think I need it.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I mean, do you have a PS5? I don't have a PS5. We just talked about that.
I
So,
don't have a PS5.
I mean, what is the actual install base of PS5 now? Like, how many have actually, sold in the North American market at this point? How many? I'm looking it up right now. Sold in US. So right now the PlayStation 5 has sold more than 7.67 million units in the US. I would feel like if it had sold that many it would have been in a store. It,
Yeah, but then go look up how many PS4s have sold, right?
yeah, I mean, I still have my PS4 and it works. It works fine. I don't know that. Would we? I mean, do you even need? Of course, if this is a exclusive just to the PS5, right? So you're not even going to be able to play the upscaled one on PS4.
No, you will only be able to play it on PS5, so far as I am aware. And like, well, maybe. According to this is sales in millions. The PS5 sold 4.3 million in 2021 and 1.94 million in 2020 and then 0.42 million here in 2022. Now contrast that with the numbers of the PS4 first released in 2014, 4.66 million in 2014, 5.8 million in 2015, 5.13 million in 2016, 5.3 in 2017, 5.25 in 2018. Like,
Now it is a worldwide thing too. Like I'm looking at worldwide sales, and as of June 2022, the PS5 had sold 20 million units worldwide. So that's
yeah, but those are rookie numbers.
I mean, PS4 was definitely the like crunch time, man. It crushed Xbox. It was a great system. I mean, I love my PS4. I haven't had as much time to play games. I guess that happens as you get older, but I mean, Call of Duty,
I still find time.
you still find time. Yeah, are you gonna get any of those? Because the other ones aren't exclusive, so I'd imagine, given the install base, they're gonna make PS4 versions.
I mean, if it really comes down to it, I would if I can get it on PC, I'll get it on PC.
The PC Master Race.
Yes, indeed.
I've thought about that. The PC's getting kind of the Steam Deck and some of those other things are making PC gaming more accessible. Of course, the Steam Deck is basically a console PC. I don't know. You've seen those, right? The little handheld like Steam platforms.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a handheld guy. I mean, I've had handhelds in the past, but like I'm a serious gamer, so I just like to sit down and play when I'm gaming. I don't like to game on the go. I don't like to game on the bus. I don't like to game on the train. I don't like to game
You sound
at the
like Sam
park.
I am. I do not game on the plane. I do not game on the train.
Yeah. I would not, could not with a mouse.
Yeah, the well, I mean, I've been told I hadn't played with a keyboard and mouse since I was college, right? And I remembered playing Unreal. This I'll go Unreal Tournament and Half Life, and I was keyboard and mouse was definitely how you did it. But then once Call of Duty and all those first person shooters really took off with online gameplay on consoles, it just seems weird right now.
Honestly, if I'm doing an FPS, I would still rather have a keyboard and mouse because like I can snipe with a keyboard and mouse. I've never gotten a controller gotten that level of ability with a controller. Like,
It's the
yeah, you can push the stick in that direction and then pull the trigger at the right time or whatever. But like with a mouse, like I know what distance my hand has to move the mouse in order to be sighted in exactly where I want to be on the screen.
well, you've got the aim assist is always a problem too, right? In the consoles, there's a heavy aim assist because they don't have the keyboard and mouse part. That's
Yeah,
something.
more like lame assist.
That's something that PC gamers with keyboard and mice do not worry about.
But yeah, in addition to the confirmation of a Silent Hill 2 remake, we have these three other titles that were all announced. We can go ahead and
Sure, let's
jump
look
through
at.
those.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see Konami actually doing something.
Yeah, yeah, but I have a theory on what's going on here, and we can discuss that a little more.
Are you thinking they're trying to get sold?
I don't know if they're trying to get sold or if they're just trying to get every last bit of value out of a dying franchise as they can, or hope that one of these three titles ends up being like the formula moving forward. Because I mean, they took a real hit with. Do you remember PT?
PT, which
Yeah,
game?
PT wasn't a full game. It was a bit of a promotional demo that came out for a new Silent Hill game that I believe was being spearheaded by Hideo Kojima.
Kojima is a. I'm not. I'm. I don't want to get in trouble. I'll get a lot of internet hate when I say that I'm not. I do not go to the Church of Kojima. I think he's a little bit overrated. Not even. Well, maybe not even a little bit.
I don't disagree with you, but the PT was looking good. Um, yeah, PT is a psychological horror game developed by Kojima Productions under the pseudonym 7780 Studio and published by Konami. It was directed and designed by Hideo Kojima in collaboration with filmmaker Guillermo del Toro.
All I know is Death Stranding sucked. Not my thing at all. I thought it was terrible.
No, Death Stranding was absolutely fucking garbage. It was hot garbage. It was a walking simulator in every sense of the word.
I mean, you were a delivery man. That's
You literally just walked. That was what you were supposed to do. Hey, pick this up, walk with it, bring it here.
But you man, you say that there's people who swear by Kojima will tell you Death Stranding is the most misunderstood masterpiece of like art of all time. And I'm like, I just want to play a video game, man. That's not what I need. I don't need to walk around and like feel like see like cutscenes that are just undecipherable.
Well, PT was actually really good. And basically, what it was, yeah, I looked it up. PT served as an interactive teaser for the game Silent Hills, an installment in the Silent Hill series. The directors were Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. And I mean, Guillermo del Toro is kind of a big name.
I mean, he's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
Little bit. But it had a really like the PT, which was a playable teaser, I think was what it stood for, right? Like it was fucking horrifying. Like it was scary as shit and really interesting and had some cool stuff going on. And then at the very end of it, like the protagonist was revealed to be portrayed by Norman Reedus.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about like the initial trailer? Yeah.
Yeah, but then I guess Kojima and Konami had a bit of a falling out and everything got canceled and it all fell apart. And then what did we get? We got a fucking weird ass walking simulator.
With Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they had been body cam like filming him for the 3D motion capture, so well, we can do something with it.
All right. So now we will jump into the trailers for the new titles that are coming out, not just the remake. The first one being Townfall. And of the three, I would say this one looks the most like it could be a Silent Hill game.
Townfall.
Townfall.
I mean, I think the name is a little blah, but
Yeah, not the best name.
Why are you here? No, in this place. Why are you here? You're to be punished.
see, that was like photorealistic.
You know what? I think you're right. I mean, we've done something so awful.
Hey, pause it real quick. Joey, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have one of those little portable TVs when you were younger?
I think so.
Dude, those were awesome. Like, I'm gonna go off on a little tangent because that's what we do. And I had one of
Tangent
those.
away.
I had one of those. My brothers were much more into sports. Clearly, given my crazy, stupid, useless knowledge of movies and pop culture, I wasn't as much. So when we would go to the baseball games for my older sibling, I wasn't into it. So I got my mom got me one of those little portable TVs because I was like, I'm not going to sit here and watch the game. But she was like, you have to go to support your brother. I was like, all right, fine. If I'm gonna go, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so she got me one of those, and she's like, look, just show up. You can put headphones on and watch TV. I was like, all right, that's cool. And this was back when VHF and UHF had everything being broadcast, so it was great. I'd be watching instead of watching the baseball game. This was back when Star Trek, like the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, were syndicated, so they would air like Saturday afternoons around here. Yeah, the channel that became the CW in our local area was a broadcast one with on UHF, so it came in over the like little TV. Got it. I was just watch Star Trek or Deep Space Nine during the baseball games, and it was actually really fun. So I'm really gonna be creeped out when they try to make that little portable TV a little demon gateway thing, probably shortly in this trailer. So
Oh no, I think that's it for this trailer. They're pretty
okay.
short. These are all just teasers.
So they didn't show any character renders though, so that's what's it's easy to get a really good render on objects.
They showed. It looks like they showed a bit of a character render in here toward the end. Yeah, like that was all you got.
No, I have no idea what the game's in any way about, so it's a perfect teaser. It's an
Yeah,
atmospheric teaser.
yeah, it is very atmospheric. But as I said, like of the three, I think that one registers the most as a Silent Hill game. Like it had Silent Hill vibes. It felt that way. Now this next one, it's, I don't get Silent Hill out of this, and I believe this is the one that Bad Robot played a part in. So
Well, that's really making me not.
yeah, not off to a good start. They haven't exactly been batting 1,000 lately.
Although I will say, I thought, was it Cloverfield Lane? Was actually a pretty solid movie.
Okay.
Did you see that one? 13
I saw
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield. I don't think I saw Cloverfield Lane.
It was the sequel that wasn't a sequel. I think it was 13 Cloverfield Lane. It was 2016. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, never watched the sequel.
You
Weird.
should try it. It's separate sort of from the original, so I would think you would enjoy it. It's kind of got a psychological horror element to it, and then a twist, of course, because it's Bad Robot, so there's a twist, a mystery box, if you will. But the mystery box works from a psychological thriller standpoint because psychological thrillers are usually inherently kind of a mystery box story, like where you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but I don't know if it works in a Silent Hill because, like I said, and this is a problem with a lot of J.J. Abrams bullshit. But um, the mystery box opens very quickly in a Silent Hill game, but it doesn't get overly explained. Like You're not gonna get like a whole detailed fucking breakdown of midichlorians or like your
Or why there's a pyramid on a
or
head
why
of
there's a
some
pyramid
villain.
on that dude's head. You're not gonna get like the explanation that, oh well, this sword was the key that unlocks the volcano, and like none of that shit happens. You're just gonna get a whole bunch of scary, crazy, psychedelic shit happen, and then as I said, you're supposed to draw your own conclusions. My worry for this one, which like I said, I think barely registers as a Silent Hill game, is that I think shit will be over explained. Bad Robot has a bad habit of over explaining their shit. Like, oh, wasn't it amazing? Like, no, I didn't like it. It would have been better to just let me make my own conclusions. And that I think has always been kind of one of the draws of a Silent Hill game is they don't just spoon feed you the answers.
Yeah, it is. There's something said for letting your head canon be involved with figuring out what's going on. All right, so I'm seeing tweets. And we got a villain reveal. What is this? Ascension? Silent Hill Ascension? Well, I mean, at least it's got the fog and the. They're stealing our jam. The Ascendant Art Ascension. This is
Well,
clearly copyright violations. I should sue them. I'm going to file a copyright claim against them on YouTube because that's how that works.
I mean, we're watching their trailer. They might file one on us. I'm surprised we ain't been shut down already.
We've had claims against our show.
I'm
There's
sure.
we got one for the Mario trailer. I fought that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did.
I did not know that.
Yeah, in fact, it was still under review the last time I looked because I was like, we were interrupting that trailer like every 2 seconds. There's no way in God's green earth that one would not qualify as fair use.
Yeah, the issue is the music.
But
The
even
music
then,
is what gets you.
yeah, I should have. But we had to get it to have the voice because the whole point of that.
The whole point was the voice.
Exactly.
But like this, like I said, barely registers as a Silent Hill game to me. There seems to be some weird mystery box already being teased about can we save her? Is her that thing in the trailer? Like, because we didn't get a whole lot out of that trailer other than weird monster wearing armor slam stick.
Oh, we also got a copyright claim for the Mr. T cartoon. I mean, it didn't.
Also, every
It
time we
doesn't.
have Matt on, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't impact our because we're not monetized.
Yeah,
So
don't care, not monetized.
not monetized. But it's just funny. I was like, that's the one. I mean, it's like who owns the rights to that cartoon that they immediately like after our live broadcast were like copyright claim because it was probably the music from the intro of the Mr. T cartoon.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Well, these are all guidelines for me making the claim against Konami for stealing our stuff. Because they don't have a right to use our word.
Yeah, we own Ascendant and all derivative words. They are ours.
This is all your words belong to us.
All right,
All your
and then
words are
we've got one more.
So wait, they announced 3 games.
3 games, 3 different studios making them. Like I said, it seems like they farmed this out to other studios for the most part.
Why in the world are they going to put out that many in that short a time?
Honestly, my theory is that they see that the IP is in decline, and I mean, Konami doesn't have a lot of popular IPs left these days that I can think of. So
Because they own Castlevania, right?
Capcom,
Is Capcom
I
Castlevania?
can't remember.
All right, Castlevania video game is. Come on, who owns it? Who owns it?
Yeah, having a
Konami.
hell of a time. Yeah. Oh no, Konami owns it.
Yeah. I mean, so they were involved in making a really kick-ass anime show.
Yeah. And like I said, I think they just see that they have an IP in decline, and this is a gambit to try and resurrect it, so to speak. They're doing a remake. They're doing 3 new titles. They all seem to be run by separate studios. They're probably hoping one of these takes off, and that can be their formula moving forward. That's my best guess because I have never seen this. This is ambitious.
Yeah, because they're
And like all 3 of the games are different studios, different big names behind them.
Well, I guess you could. I mean, if you're gonna make such variation in the game styles, I could sort of see, because you remember Assassin's Creed was putting out multiple games, like a mainline game and then like a side game. You know, there was the Ezio mainline game where it was evolving the story going forward, and then you'd get like the ones where you were a pirate.
Yeah, well, the ones where you were a pirate. That was Black Flag.
And were you a pirate in it?
Yeah. I mean, you were a pirate.
Did you have a thing where you could unlock singing sea shanties?
Yes, and I unlocked every single one of them. I perfected that game. I hit every achievement on that game. I found every collectible. I went to every place. That was my favorite one because it was a little less Assassin's Creed, I guess.
And it was fun to play, right? Where they kind of left off the. Did you still have a future part where you were in someone going back and inhabiting a body?
Yeah. If I remember correctly. Pretty sure that was part of it. I think that was the one. Like the future part was weird in that one, but I think you were like an employee who just got hired, and like you were going in and doing these dives because they were pulling the memories to make movies with them. I'm not kidding. And then like you find out that like maybe it's the is it the Templars that are the bad guys in that one?
No, weren't you a Templar and then they got assassinated? No, yeah.
No, the assassins were the good guys, and I thought the Templars were the bad guys. It's been a while since I've played an Assassin's Creed game.
That sounds right. Sounds right.
But that one was really weird because like then you find out like there's something going on with the company, you know, because it's the evil corporation, and you're trying to blow the lid off of the whole thing, and like you get caught, and then you end up in like the basement in the server room, and then you get sexually assaulted by an alien artificial intelligence. I don't know why it happened, but that's
you
basically
didn't sing
what
a sea
happened.
shanty for that.
Yeah. I don't remember any of the pirates singing about it either, but and that was like the future, like the this is the present day story arc that was going on, and it was convoluted as fuck. But yeah, like Ubisoft, they farm those out well in advance, though. Like there are there at any given time. There's a studio working on an Assassin's Creed game that's scheduled for the year, right? And there's another studio working on the one that's scheduled for the year after that, and another studio working on one that's scheduled for the year after that. They're always farmed out that way because they want to have yearly releases on it.
I
I
think they
think
had
it really
backed up.
hurts the story.
Yeah, I thought they'd actually taken a break because they were starting to run their franchise into the ground.
They may have at this point. I haven't been paying close enough attention. The last one I played was what was it? Syndicate, I think was the last one I played.
Yeah, I can't. The I played, was it Assassin's Creed 3? Was that the American Revolutionary, or was that 4?
That was 3. That one was
That
kind of
was,
crap.
yeah, I was really looking forward to that one because the trailer was pretty awesome, where you're running around taking redcoats out with your little tomahawk. It was. I thought
You
it was
know,
almost like the Patriot.
the one I really liked, and I mean the one player mode, I never actually finished the story or anything, but I liked Unity because man, was it fun to play with your friends and go on assassin missions together. Like I want another Unity. But yeah, so we'll jump into this last one. This last Silent Hill teaser. And this one I would say it's the most interesting looking of the three to me because I mean they put a little more time into their trailer and I kind of like that, but at the same time it also does not register as a Silent Hill game to me. Like it doesn't scream Silent Hill when I look at it. Especially since I didn't think Silent Hill was in Japan.
So I think the aesthetic Japan is a creepy aesthetic place. Like you can do creepy stuff in Japan.
It's a great aesthetic for a horror setting. It really is.
Plus, we're so culturally primed for it from all those like crazy Japanese horror movies.
Yeah, like The Ring and The Grudge
Yep.
and a bunch of other shit they did.
We got some like those kind of red vines growing on everything, coming after, infecting. Oh, running away, running away. Yeah, that is disturbingly creepy.
Yeah. Quick warning, it gets a little worse here.
No. Ew. Ooh.
Yeah, a little gross.
And but why was it like? So there's a few disturbing elements there. You've got the face falling off. You've got the fact that it was empty on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, and this guy he's done some other horror games. So like I said, they farmed a lot of this out to other people and they look decent. I would say the second one by Bad Robot is the least compelling. Well, no, I'd say the first one is the least compelling. The second one is like Bad Robot just makes me worry, and then this one looks pretty compelling too. But I don't disagree that Silent Hill is kind of a franchise in decline, and I think what they're looking for here is a new formula going forward. I don't think they know what to do with their IP anymore. So they're just like, well, let's see if somebody else can come up with an idea, and
Well,
if one of those works, we'll have our formula for the future of this franchise.
pumping out 3 games in like a year is an interest. It's what's the meme like? It's a bold strategy there, Cotton. We'll have to see.
Let's see how it works out.
Yeah, because you don't want to burn out your audience, and the horror subgenre of video gaming is a subset of gaming. It's popular, but in certain games break through, but it's not like Call of Duty money.
It's really popular right now, though. And I mean, I guess if you're going to be releasing a whole bunch of horror games, October is the month to.
Well, are they coming out this month, or are they just dropping the trailers?
No, I think they're like dropping next year.
Yeah, so maybe next October they're gonna drop 3 games. No, they'll spread it out throughout the year, hopefully. From a business standpoint, I really hope so. Just because I hate seeing our old studios fold, like Capcom being crap, Konami being crap. They need to. I want them to be successful, like the kid in me who played, who knew the Konami code, up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. You remember that,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I
select.
please.
That's
It's the only way I could have beaten Contra.
Oh, is yeah, 32 lives. But Contra was a fun game though. It was only fun once you had the 32 lives.
It was just 30, but 30 was enough.
Was it 30? I thought it was 32.
It was 30. But
now, which was the gun you would go for? Did you want the spread, the machine gun? I hated the flamethrower. The laser kind of sucked too.
I mean, the spread was really good. I kind of liked the laser.
See, I just liked the machine gun. I wanted to be able to put rounds down range, so to speak.
I liked the laser because if you got like right up on a target, especially like if you were like right up on a boss's weak spot, like you could just do so much damage so quickly with the laser. But the spread was the best gun to just take through the whole damn game.
Yeah, I mean, if you could survive with it, especially the second level where you're jumping up on the like the waterfalls.
Third, well, I guess yeah, technically the second, because they always had like the side-scrolling platformer section, and then you'd go through the weird like cameras behind you and you're moving forward through the corridors section.
Well, no, so that was the very first place was the jungle. Then you blow up the base and you go inside the base, but that's all like one level.
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe that's level 1 on its own because that's the first base boss. Then you go inside, and that's the one where you have like the electric fence part, and you have to stay.
Yeah, I always
behind
considered
it.
that level 2, but
Okay, so yeah, if you're using that's level 2, then level 3 is the waterfalls. So yeah.
yeah, the waterfall wasn't too bad. The one that always got me was Snowfield. Snowfield fucked me up for some reason.
Oh yeah, because of those things throwing the friggin' little sliders, and you got to jump and kill them.
Yeah, and the dudes hucking the grenades from behind the trees.
Yeah, because I would be rocking. I would have my spread or my machine gun that I wanted, whichever one I was able to carry over from my previous levels. And you would get there, and that's where you'd end up losing it. It was annoying. And then my favorite, what was the very big boss was like a alien brain thing, shooting face huggers at you.
Yeah, in the Gross Cave. No, I don't remember if it was a brain or a heart. I think it was a heart.
Oh yeah, maybe it was heart, but it was face huggers coming at you. I remember that.
Yeah. It was a weird game. Like you didn't need stories back then. It was like, yeah, there's fucking aliens on this island, and you're a commando, and you go fight them. Go.
Nice.
And then at the end, they're like, congratulations, you saved the world. And it's like, sweet, that's all I needed. I win.
So I'm gonna share something. We'll move to our next topic, I think, because we moved on to talking about Contra, and I don't know that a 30-plus-year-old game at this point is gonna be a thing. We like to talk about our ratings. All right, so you remember last week there was a deal where one of the stars of She-Hulk started tweeting and getting into it with fans, saying that they had the #1 show. Where she was like, we have the #1 show on television. It's super successful. And people are like, no, you're lying. She's pulled up some random website where somebody said it was number one.
She-Hulk?
Yeah, so I'm gonna show you this. This
She
is
really believed she had the number one show on television?
yeah. So I'm not. So this is overall. So this includes television and movies.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna
I don't
switch
see
just
it
to.
there.
I'm just gonna put to original television shows.
I don't see it there either.
But do you know what's still there?
Yeah, Stranger Things.
That came out.
Keeping
Oh,
She-Hulk from breaking that glass ceiling and getting into the top 10. I like it.
Look what else is beating She-Hulk.
Yeah, the Great British Bake Off. And
That
to be quite
it's a good
perfectly
show,
honest,
by the way. Yeah, I like
no,
that
it's
show.
not. No,
It's a good show.
no.
Watch it, man.
Is Gordon Ramsay in it?
No,
Then it's not a good show. It's a cooking show I don't care to watch.
I mean Fate the Winx Saga. Lord
Also,
of the
no
Rings,
offense, but
wow.
like, and maybe it's just because like I've seen my daughters watching Nailed It too many times or whatever it's called, but like the people in those shows, I think they are more personality than culinary specialist.
Well, no, the British Bake Off is different.
Are they serious cooks? Are they like
There's-
actually good at it?
No, they're amateurs, but they there's no prize money attached. It's just people. It's very British. It's their people just trying to do things out of sense of duty. Like me, I'm gonna be good because I'm good. And some people aren't, but some people make really crazy good stuff. It's just a fun, relaxing show to watch. If you want something you can watch with your whole family and not worry about content, that's a good one.
Okay. Okay.
But here's what's crazy. You remember we've talked about how popular shows are or aren't. So here's one of our favorites, right? Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Still losing out to Cobra Kai, which has been out for a lot longer now.
Yeah, but look at this part. See how much that's got? Look what premiered and just crushed it.
Dahmer.
Dahmer, but look at the level.
Yeah. What is the obsession with this Dahmer thing? I don't get it.
But here's the real fun thing. I'm going to switch to overall. Look what moved up ahead of Lord of the Rings.
House of the Dragon.
Hot D.
Dude, Lord of the Rings is going to crash hard at this point. Now that it's all out there, like this thing is going to collapse on itself like a dying star.
Yeah, but this was before the season finale even aired and House of the Dragon had moved above it. And we've talked about this before. This doesn't even include the regular HBO viewers from House of the Dragon.
Yeah, this is weekly.
This is weekly, so this
Mark
is...
my words. By mid-November, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power won't even be on this list.
Well, if you look, this is going back for the week of September 19th through 25th. So it's a couple weeks behind just because of the way things work.
Okay.
So it's going to... I mean... I think it keeps falling. Like Dahmer is going to be on number one. The next, like so these streaming ratings come out Thursday afternoons, U.S. time, Eastern time, and they get updated every Thursday afternoon, evening, weekly. But it's also always a few weeks behind, and that's because they have to pull the data. Like the different services have reached agreements where they supply the numbers to. To the, to Nielsen.
After heavily modifying them.
Yeah, so, and Nielsen also does, the old fashioned thing where they have people's, they do the Nielsen sample boxes where they track what you watch. Good for Father Stu coming in at number 7 overall, though. Pretty happy about that. That's a good movie. So it's the number 1 movie, beating even Thor Love and Thunder. So this would have been Thor Love and Thunder was free at this point, so on Disney Plus. And it's fallen behind Do Revenge, Lou, and Father Stu on Netflix.
There's just not a whole lot going on in movies right now, is there?
Not really. I've heard good things about Smile. And that's a horror movie.
No, yeah. We are in Halloween, so that is the flavor of the month.
So what I think that the takeaway from this ratings chart is that She-Hulk is a terrible bomb of a show, and that Lord of the Rings, for for the expense, like, think of if you're Amazon and you spend $1 billion to do Lord of the Rings. Look at Dahmer from Netflix. You know they spent like nothing on that show because it's just regular people, no special effects, none of that, and just how it's getting crushed on numbers.
Yeah.
True
What's that
crime
second thing? Number of.
episodes.
Oh, okay. Number of episodes.
So like Cobra Kai, because it's been on 5 seasons, has 50 episodes available, but most people are just watching the new season.
I mean, a lot of people are rewatching. Like
Yeah.
it's been out for a while now, the new season, and Netflix. People tend to binge, and if they're still putting up those kind of numbers and stomping the shit out of House of the Dragon and Lord of the Rings, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think it's, and remember, it's a value proposition. Look how much cheaper Cobra Kai is to shoot compared to those. You just have to, do a dojo set, have
And I
some
mean, as far
teenagers
as
fight.
as far as HBO Max goes, like they're kind of on the back foot anyway because like it's a bit of it's almost like the upgraded cable package, right? Like almost everybody has Netflix these days, and almost lots of people have Prime these days. I think
Hmm.
probably more so than people who have HBO Max.
I actually think HBO Max might be one of the better services in terms of actual content.
Probably.
But what are we gonna do? They're they're doing their thing, and I don't know that HBO is kind of getting hobbled by corporate shakeups. They can't have a specific plan that they're following through on. So I don't know how good. I just know that it's a pretty solid interface for an app. It's got a lot of content. Like there's hubs on there that include, like, I can go on HBO Max, and I haven't watched lately, but I can watch Lone Wolf and Cub, which is a pretty awesome old show. Did you ever watch that one, Lone Wolf and Cub?
If I do, I don't remember.
It's a live action, like, Japanese show about a Ronin samurai who's traveling around with a little kid that he has to watch. Like, The Mandalorian ripped a lot off of Lone Wolf and Cub in that first season when Grogu, Baby Yoda, was hovering around in that little baby carrier.
Gotcha.
But it's, so I mean, I hate to, it's not always about the economics of television, but when these streaming services, even Amazon, don't have unlimited money. Disney doesn't have unlimited money. So if you're putting up, like, the She-Hulk show was costing, I think, like, $10 to $20 million an episode.
Jeez, was not worth it. I mean, I doubt they would make back one episode at this point.
Let me see. Oh no. Let's see. They spent 75 million over the first 3 episodes, which would cost more than the entire Deadpool movie.
And the Deadpool movie probably made more than the entire season of She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. And sources from Marvel informed us that She-Hulk show's budget per episode is around $25 million. And since it had 9 episodes, the overall budget was $225 million. She-Hulk allegedly cost $225 million.
How much?
This can't be. I mean, I have a hard time believing this is actual legitimate news. This is a place saying that a source was telling them from inside Marvel that the budget for She-Hulk was 25 million per episode. which is $225 million. That's like how much they spent on Avengers Endgame. That made $2.7 billion. I can't imagine that that's actually true. I would think that it was probably closer to like say 10 million an episode.
There does seem to be a bit of a concerted effort at this point to do less with more.
They have to. It's
Like,
not the money printer go burr is no longer an option.
yeah, but I mean, back in the day, it was like, man, they really did more with less. But now it's like, no, no, do less with more. We need to spend more money. Spend more money.
So I was doing a stream with Lady Gravemaster, who's been on our show before. She's a great person, and we were talking about Casper, and it also led us to talking about Monster Squad from the '80s. And I told her, and I stand by this. I think the effects, the monster effects from that movie, are actually really good. The Wolfman transformation is one of my, I think, best Wolfman on screen transformations, especially from a budget standpoint. Right up there with American Werewolf in Paris. Maybe a little less detailed, but still really good. You've seen Monster Squad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, Wolfman's gotten arts. She hadn't, which was shocking to me. I mean, I know it's a cult classic, but it still seems crazy that people haven't seen Monster Squad. It's Halloween time, people. If you're looking for a movie to watch for Halloween that you haven't seen before, that's a fun just horror romp. It's Monster Squad. Excellent one. Excellent choice.
Oh, I'm sure she hadn't because we're old, and that was a 1987 movie.
But it was on like TV a lot, right? And I feel like I remember seeing it on TV a lot.
Maybe.
Maybe it was because I was bringing a TV to a baseball game all the time. Cool. All right. Well, I think I finished all my topics because we talked about those streaming ratings. So I wanted to show that to you because I thought it was hilarious that She-Hulk like doesn't even register, and even though that one star was claiming it was the number one show in the country. And it wasn't even like it was the fifth show, it was the sixth show. It doesn't even rank in the top 10. Anything more you want to talk about, Joey?
I mean, there's a Return to Silent Hill official behind the scenes, but I don't see a trailer. And I was looking over the behind the scenes while we were going over some of that other stuff. It doesn't seem to have a whole lot to do with the movie. It's got Christoph Gans and Victor Hadida talking about the game and the first film. So, I don't know. We could watch that if you want.
If it doesn't really have much going on, they are making they're doing a new movie, right?
That's what they're saying. Yeah, join film director and producer Christopher Gans and producer Victor Hadida to learn about The Return to Silent Hill, a new movie adaptation of the popular psychological horror game Silent Hill 2. The film tells the story of a young man who has returned. Okay, so they're literally making a movie based on Silent Hill 2.
Well, they're also remaking the game. So the game is almost a movie tie-in for them.
Mm-hmm.
Or the movie is an advertisement for the game, whichever way you want to go. I know that well, this is interesting because Resident Evil 4 is about to drop too, right? The remake.
They're remaking Resident Evil. Probably.
Here, let me see if we've got that. Let's check that one out. Because it's got to be on there, Resident Evil 4 remake. Oh, they did some trailers.
Oh, yeah. I don't like the first thing I saw on their webpage about it, because I went straight to Capcom's webpage and they said reimagined. Resident Evil 4 is a remake of the 2005 original Resident Evil 4, reimagined for 2023 to bring state-of-the-art survival horror. Resident Evil 4 preserves the essence of the original game while introducing modernized gameplay, a reimagined storyline, and vividly detailed graphics to make this the latest survival horror game where life and death, terror, and catharsis intersect.
All right, well, let's see then. Let's bring up the trailer here. I found the story trailer for it. Make sure you can tell me if you hear it.
Yep, volume's good.
So, Cat, maybe this is why Konami was dropping all their stuff.
You're here looking for someone? Maybe. Some missing señorita?
Ashley.
So I'm gonna, since we watched them all in quick succession, I kind of feel like this one's graphics for the characters look a little better. But
A little less hyper realistic. So
it comes off better that way.
yeah, a little less uncanny valley.
Where are you?
Your soul requires cleansing.
Ashley Graham, are you in here?
Just let me go.
Listen. I'm hearing the president's orders and
What is that? What do we do?
The lost lambs are escaping.
we need to go.
Yeah, this seems like it's following the previous
gonna
story
get you home
pretty
safe.
close.
You can stop.
I can stop right here because I think that looks like like Resident Evil is always a more intense gameplay than Silent Hill, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're straying too far from the original Resident Evil 4. I'll wait until we're done with the trailer to discuss a hot take on their last remake, but
Stop right there.
Ada, who are you? What are you doing here?
My faithful disciple will show her the path.
Ashley, run!
The entire world shall overflow with these grains.
What's happening to me?
Now, abandon your body.
Leave the girl. She's lost no matter what.
Now that he has chosen death.
So I didn't play this one. I guess you're like you've got castle battles. Is this like around the world kind of thing or something?
this one is one of my favorites, to be honest. Although some of the QuickTime events were just like, "We're going to kill you," and then you'll know to press X the next time. But but this one does not take place in Raccoon City. It takes place on like a weird little island where I guess like the president's daughter was kidnapped and Leon Kennedy gets sent in to try and retrieve her.
No.
He's no longer a rookie cop. I think he's like one of the president's people, like he's a special agent or some shit. So it's a little different, and this is where they introduce the Plagas, I think it's called, the Plagas, which is unlike the T virus and the G virus and all the other viruses that were developed by Umbrella. This is like an actual parasite instead of just a virus. It's like, and like that's why you saw that one part where like the shadow of the dude's head exploded and all the tentacles started coming out. They've got like a parasite in them that basically if I remember, it might have been mushrooms that were doing it. But once it infects them, they basically become zombies.
They might need to pull that with Last of Us coming out. You don't want to get like.
I mean, if anybody stole it from anybody, Last of Us stole it from Resident Evil, because the mushroom thing was from the original Resident Evil 4.
I can't even like these. Looking back now, yeah, we had a pretty solid run of survival horror games just coming out.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm so far this trailer looks really good. I'm optimistic. I might have to pick this one up because I did love the original Resident Evil 4.
Nice.
Now let's see the rest of it.
All right, starting.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it's hard to say what changed. I don't think they changed too much of it. It just it definitely looks like it got a a fresh coat of paint, so to speak. I just hope they don't fuck with it too much. This is a bit of a hot take, but like they did a Resident Evil 2 remake, and Resident Evil 2 was one of my other favorites from the franchise. It's probably the one I played the most of any of them. And I fucking hated it. I just didn't like it. It looked really good. It felt good. It was fun to play. But in the original Resident Evil 2, when the big dude showed up, like the events where you dealt with him and had to deal with him and saw him and fought him and ran from him and everything else, Mr. X, I think was what they called him. When he showed up, it was a very scripted event dealing with him. And in the newer version where they did the remake, instead of it being scripted events where you had to deal with him, they just dropped him in and he immediately would be patrolling the area once he arrived. And like patrolling around the whole building. And it's like, okay, well now I can't go clear out an area and then explore it properly. I can't like, find some breathing room in a room that's got no zombies in it and then take my time and really get a feel for it, because this fucking thing is patrolling and in 2 minutes he's going to walk through this room. And then if I somehow lose him again, 2 minutes later, he's going to walk through that room again. And so, and this is that tenuous balance between in a horror game, right? Like, yes, there's supposed to be some feeling of urgency and intensity, but if you push it too hard like that, it gets less and less scary and more frustrating, and eventually it's just enraging. It's like, I'm no longer enjoying this game. It's now pissing me the fuck off. And that's kind of where I got with the Resident Evil 2 remake.
You shouldn't all you need to do with these remakes is enhance the gameplay to where it should be for whatever year you're releasing it and update your graphics.
Yeah, give it a fresh coat of paint and review the script and see if maybe it can be a little better written, a little better voice acted.
Exactly. And then from there, the reason it's a classic is because people liked it as it was. So just clean up those little things and you'll make money. I don't agree with overhauling, because then it's not a remake anymore.
Well, and I don't know if you played many Resident Evil games, but the thing of it is there are different play styles that you can adopt for the game. And the one that I always preferred was I would very slowly and methodically work my way through everything. Like I wasn't charging down halls at top speed. I wasn't trying to get, I wasn't trying to clear it in an hour or any of that crap. And I liked to take my time with it and explore and try to find secrets and fuck around with stuff. And if there's a giant unkillable badass that's going to come try to kill me every 2 minutes, I can't do that. So you've ruined the game for the people who like to take their time and explore.
Now maybe they should do a crossover with like redo a Resident Evil and make it Dark Souls, like just soul crushingly difficult.
Yeah, but Dark Souls isn't that way either. I actually love Dark Souls. I own every one of them. Not some of the side ones. Like I don't think I ever played the one with the samurai that's a Dark Souls game, or I haven't played the newest one that I think George R.R. Martin helped them make. I intend to, but I'm a cheap bastard, so I'm waiting till it's marked down. But like Dark Souls, like it's rare that shit's just gonna run up on you and kill you. You have to run up on other shit, and once you get close enough to it, it'll notice you and come kill you. But like there's plenty of places where you can stop, take a breather, look around. That is what does not exist in the Resident Evil 2 remake because of the way that they set up this patrolling behemoth monster. The only places where you can really be safe, I think, are the save rooms. Beyond that, no. You can't stand around anywhere. You can't take too much time looking around. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. The survival game, I never liked survival horror games. I mean, they were good. I appreciated the quality of the game. They were just never my thing because I was more into action-oriented games that, had you doing something.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own.
I like first-person shooters. That was what I was really good at. That's where my talents in gaming lied.
I really liked. I liked the story-heavy games. I mean, I grew up with RPGs, a lot of Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Secret of Evermore, all that stuff. I also very much enjoyed the first Resident Evils. They started to fall off around the time like we got into 3. 4 was pretty good, and some of the ones where they're not even in the number line, like Code Veronica and some of the other stuff, like they never got their hooks in me quite as much as the originals. Silent Hill was good. Like I like those games, but I do feel like a lot of these remakes, it's like, okay, don't stray too far from the original formula. You can put more stuff in, make it a little more, make it pretty, modernize like the script a little, bring in better voice actors for some of those old ones that had really shitty voice acting. But don't try to change too much because there was a reason it was so good in the first place, and it's like when you're doing a haircut, right? Like if you try to cut your own hair, you do a little trim and then it looks okay, and then you trim a little more and then it looks okay, and then you trim a little more and you realize you're half bald. Like,
well, you know that I'm in a category where I can cut my own hair. That was a cheap shot.
Okay. So it's like when you're painting. Like if you keep adding more and more detail to it, eventually you've gone too far and ruined the picture.
That's an example I can get behind. Because for me, just it's number 2 all the way around. I'm good to go. Mother Nature made it easier for me.
Yeah, that's right. A secluded European village surrounded by a forest rumored to be home to an eerie cult. And the cult has supposedly kidnapped the president's daughter.
Yeah, that does sound like that's definitely a departure from what I know of. I mean, I played Resident Evil back on PlayStation when there was no numbers, just PlayStation.
Oh yeah, and the first one took place in the Umbrella
Mansion.
Mansion outside of Raccoon City, and the second one took place in Raccoon City.
Hmm.
And this one, like I said, is some sort of it's a weird cult village in Europe.
Yeah, I got that vibe. It was weird because it just since I didn't play this one live, it was the aesthetic just threw me off when I'm used to, Resident Evil has a very specific look because the mansion or Raccoon City. So seeing like the castle thing was kind of different. But apparently it's a classic and was well received.
Yeah, it was one of the best. A lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It would qualify as what I would call Ascendant Art.
I agree. Speaking of that thing, you recommended I start watching Classroom of the Elite, and
Classroom of the Elite is pretty good.
it took a turn that I didn't expect, and it's really interesting because even in the first episode, like, I was sort of, you kind of threw and prepped me for what was the curveball and that one, but
Yeah, and I mean, you watch the show for like 15 minutes, and you're like, oh, okay, we've got all the usual anime tropes here. Your main character is the underachiever who's secretly a badass but doesn't want to stand out. You've got the nice girl. You've got the smart, ambitious girl who doesn't want to make friends. Like they've all got like your pretty standard trope archetypes from a high school anime, right?
mm-hmm.
And then there's that first heel turn. And you're like, oh, these characters might not be what I think they are. It's interesting. I enjoyed it quite a bit. 2 seasons in, they are definitely slow playing the main arc. You get some snippets here and there, but it all builds real well. And I can't say too much. I mean, we're 4 seasons into Overlord, and he still hasn't found another player.
He thinks he did now.
He thinks he did. It only took him 4 fucking seasons, but he finally thinks he did.
He didn't, but he thinks he did.
I mean, I think there is another player that was teased.
Mm-hmm.
That is the dragon or whatever, but
No, see, I think no, the dragon I think was part of the AI because of the way. Did you notice the part where he was mispronouncing like the word player?
oh, okay.
So he's just probably one of the like high end world boss level AIs of the game. So he has an awareness of players.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'd say those would be those will get the Ascendant Art seal of approval. Classroom of the Elite, Overlord, um, the original Resident Evil 4. We'll see about the remake, and I mean Silent Hill 2, the original as well. Both very good survival horror type games.
I mean, you're giving it a from the trailer. You gave it a positive that it was not different than what it should have been for what it that it was showing gameplay that was seemed to be following.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah,
plan.
with the remake, it's looking good. I will say the same thing about the Silent Hill 2 remake trailer, but the difference is the hard caveat on that is I didn't see any gameplay in that trailer.
They did
I
release
saw
a
what
game.
looked like gameplay in this trailer.
There is a gameplay trailer for the Resident Evil one has an extended, even in a more extended, like 5-minute gameplay trailer too.
Yeah.
I just thought that one might be a little riskier to play on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll hold off. I think we've made our points.
I think we have to. All right, I think this is a good spot. We've we've done about our normal 90 minutes of fun, entertaining chat, like we
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
do. Hit our points. Hopefully, the people listening are going to be happy with what we do because we're awesome at it. And you may have heard us on other content creators' channels this past week. We were able to help on Sporking News. We did a marathon stream over there, so you can go on Sporking News podcast channel and hear us participate in that as well. I mentioned earlier that I did a stream even this evening with Lady Gravemaster on her channel, Nostalgic Nirvana, about Casper the Friendly Ghost, the movie from the 90s. So you have other options to hear our opinions, but hopefully you still enjoy and come back and listen to them here. So thank you for doing that, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.